Friends, welcome you all. In the previous classes, we have understood what is financial system, what are the various components of the financial system. We have already understood. Today, we will be focusing on this area of functions of financial system. What are various functions of financial system performs? That is what we are going to learn today. So let us share the screen first. You already know what is the definition of the financial system. Financial system consists of various components like this. Already you have an idea. The components include financial institutions, financial regulators, financial market, financial assets or instruments, financial services. Okay, and these are various financial institutions, various regulators we have already spoken earlier. Financial market can be organized, can be unorganized also. This concept we know. And the financial services, they can be fee-based services, they can be fund-based services. And in banking system of our country, there are commercial banks, there are cooperative banks, there are rural banks, there are foreign banks also. There are private sector banks, there are public sector banks. And capital market, which is a very important component of Indian financial system, that consists of broadly two types of market. One is primary, second one is secondary market. You are fully aware of this thing. With that background, we'll be able to understand the functions that the financial system performs. So there may be many functions, in fact. Many functions are there, but here we'll be focusing on these 6 kind of functions. Broadly, you can say you have classified or we have listed out these 6 types of functions which are performed by a Indian financial system. Now, can you read out what is the first function? What is the first one?
Liquidity function.
Liquidity function. What is the second function?
Saving function.
Saving function. Liquidity function means, first of all, financial system ensures there is enough liquidity in the system. We'll be seeing what is that. Saving function means it promotes saving. Payment function means, third one is payment function. Payment function means the system facilitates payments. Okay, system facilitates payments. I request Amardeep to mute yourself. Yeah. Then risk function. Risk function means, so people are able to manage the risk associated with the business, the risk associated with the life through the financial system. Financial system offers this kind of risk management functions also. Then what is the fifth function? Can you read it out? Fifth one?
Policy function.
Policy function. So with the help of financial system, the government takes various policies. Financial system helps in implementation of that policy. And what is the sixth function? Item number 6.
Reformatory function.
Reformatory function is, through financial system, it is possible to bring certain reforms. So let us look into all these functions individually, one by one. Liquidity, saving, payment, risk, policy, and reformatory. These are the 6 functions you can remember. Of course, different textbooks talks about various kinds of functions. So broadly, all the functions you can classify or group into these 6 categories. First is liquidity function. Do you think that it is necessary that in the financial system there should be liquidity? When I say financial system, there should be liquidity means money should flow from one sector to another sector. We already know. So in our country, if you want to ensure overall development, then what is necessary? It is necessary that there should be development each and every sector. There are some sectors who are producing goods and services. There are some sectors who are earning like this. And there are some people or some sector where there is excess money. They want suitable return on that. They want to invest that money at a particular risk. And there are some people who are in need of money. So when there will be liquidity, then only the money from the, let us say, providers or the savers will be transferred to the money transfer to the seekers. That means from the providers, money providers, where money is available, that money should be made available to the seekers of money who want it. And that is possible when there is a liquidity in the system. Money should flow. And that is also possible when people have confidence in the system. Let us say you are having excess money. Only when you have some confidence on our banking system, we'll park it in the bank. If you have some confidence on our, let us say, uh, stock market, you will be investing that money in the stock market. And if you want to, let us say, secure some kind of risk, then you can invest that money, or you can buy an insurance policy. All these things are possible. That money can move to different sectors only when only there is a good financial system. So one of the important functions of the financial system is that it should ensure there is enough liquidity in the system. You must have heard many times in newspaper, otherwise also, that our regulators like RBI make some policy changes to ensure liquidity in the system. Or when there is excess liquidity, they want to restrict the movement of funds like this. So several methods are there to do that thing. There's changing of repo rate, changing of reverse repo rate, changing of CSR, CRR, SLR ratios. So these are some of the mechanisms through which our regulators control liquidity in the system. Okay, now friends, to understand that thing, few points just we'll look into. So liquidity function means provision of money and monetary assets for the production of goods and services. So people who produce goods and services, they need money, so money should be provided. So there should not be any shortage of money in this productive ventures. Productive ventures, when they need some money, money should be made available to them. That's possible only when financial system has enough liquidity. Okay, liquidity refers to availability of money. Okay, liquidity refers to availability of money. Cash, money, or other assets. If that can be readily convertible into cash, then you can say it is liquid. It is a liquid form. Okay, so all activities in the financial system are related to liquidity. Either provisions of liquidity or trading in liquidity. So money should be available in liquid form. At any time, it can be encashed. Let us say you are keeping money in a bank. When you are keeping money in the bank, you know, at any time you want, you can liquidate it. Yes or no? If you want the money tomorrow, you can liquidate it. If you feel no, it is not liquidable, then you may not be willing to invest money in the bank. You may not be willing to keep that money or save money in the bank, because whenever required, it may not be required. Similarly, suppose you have kept some money in stock market. You have invested some money in the market. So you have a confidence, you have a faith that anytime it can be liquidated. If you want, you can sell your equities or sell your investments and get money back. So this is the concept of, at any moment, this kind of financial assets can be converted into liquid assets. So this particular function is performed by financial system. Understood? What is liquid function? What is the function of liquidity? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
The next function which financial system performs is saving function. Just a minute. Saving function means mobilizing saving and channelizing them to the productive activities. If people are having some surplus fund, they should be encouraged to save. So people in the country should have faith on the saving system, should have faith in the financial system, and they should save money. And only when they save money, that money can be made available to the productive sectors. Then only productive activities in a country will be possible. Right? And how they will save? They should be offered some incentives. Just like if you save money in the bank, you are given some incentives. That is the interest you get. Right? And if you're saving money for some other thing, let us say you are saving money in a fixed deposit, you are saving money in a mutual fund, you are saving money, let us say, or you are investing in some kind of insurance or investing in the stock market. These are the various avenues where you save money. And when you do that, why you do that? Because all these options offer you some kind of incentives. So financial system should offer you some incentive, then only people will save. If there will be no incentive, people will not save. Okay, and once it is saved, then that can be transformed. That means that your saving can be transformed as a capital that can be used by some other sector for productive purposes. Okay, and when the saving starts earning, that becomes an investment. And the same money is consumed by somebody else in the system and who uses it for productive activities. And to carry out all these activities, financial intermediaries are necessary. They, in fact, the financial intermediaries like banks, like insurance companies, like stock exchanges, stock brokers, they in fact play a very key role, very dominant role in performing these functions, performing this saving function and this liquidity function. Understood what is saving function? This is again one more important function of the financial system. And a good financial system should always encourage saving. Is it clear to you? Yes or no?
Yes,
sir.
Third function is about the payment function. Yeah. Third function is the payment function. The financial system ensures that through this financial system, through the system available in the country, if somebody wants to make some payment, that can be easily made. If you want to pay, you should be very promptly pay. You should be able to pay. So in our financial system, you see, normally you pay through bank, pay through cash, or nowadays various kind of electronic platforms are available through which you make payment. So all you are doing all these things because you feel there is a regulator and you are safe within the financial system. Is it not? So if you recall, making payment earlier was little difficult when this kind of online banking was not there. To pay something, you might have to go to a bank, then prepare a draft, you have to dispatch it, reach that place, that person will deposit it and get the money collected. Till recently, this was happening. But nowadays, you see, payment has become so easy. That means this is an improvement in the financial system. The financial system is able to perform this function in a better way. There are various methods are there to make payment. So many methods are there, n number of methods are there, and people have faith in all these methods. Right? Now, so this financial system provides payment mechanism for exchange of goods and services and transfer of economic resources through time. That means from one time to another time. That means suppose today you are investing and it will be encashed after, say, after some time, after some period. So across time, investments are possible, and across geographic regions also. You are sitting here and you want to make payment to a different person and located at a different place. That is also possible. And even and again across industries, one company can pay to another company located in a different geographical location. And across time. Across time means suppose today if you want to pay, you can pay. If you want to pay later, you can pay along with interest. So it is possible to transfer payment, provide payment across time, across geographic region, and across industries. So this is one more important function of our financial system. Next function we'll be talking about the risk function. When somebody does some kind of business, any business you think of, risk is involved or not? Or you can say, as one of the component of financial system, you are also a component of the financial system. You are also a part of the financial system. You must be facing some kind of risk also. Let us say your life risk is there. There is a risk to your assets. And financial system offers some mechanism to manage your risk. Isn't that? Suppose you feel your health is at a risk, then you can, there's an option, you can go for a health insurance. You can go for life insurance. You feel there is a risk at your life, risk to your life. Or if you feel there is a risk to your property, you can go for a appropriate kind of insurance. That means through that method, what happens? You are able to manage your risk. Not that you are totally saying that that thing will never happen. So property loss will not be there, or you will not lose your life, or your health will be, there will not be any health issues. It's not like that. But what happens is that you are getting some kind of confidence that your risk, to the extent possible, is brought to a manageable limit. You'll be able to manage your risk. Risk will be there, but you'll be able to manage your risk. So financial system performs that function. Financial system offers various products, various services through which you'll be able to manage your risk. Is it there or not? And not only manage your risk, you can also trade your risk. Suppose today you feel you can take this much of risk. Tomorrow you feel you don't want to take that much of risk. Then you may manage within financial system. So today you feel you can afford to take more risk, you can invest money in stock market. Tomorrow you feel no, you are no more capable of affording that thing, then you can liquidate that money and invest it, let us say, government securities. So both kind of instruments are available in the financial system. Financial market make it available all these kind of products and services. So you can move from a risky sector to a relatively less risky sector to financial system. So this is one more important function, risk management. Are you able to understand?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
Now,
sir.
next type of function we are learning about. I told you we'll be learning about 6 kind of functions, in fact. Next is the policy function. Financial system helps government in taking various kinds of policies. Okay, just a minute. You know, government makes various policies, various kinds of policy decisions. And it is also possible to implement this policy decision through financial system. Regulators are there, markets are there, various components are there. Market one can, you can say, implement that policy. Suppose market wants, suppose policymakers or the government wants that this particular sector should grow. So it can give a direction that capital can be made available to that sector. Banks can finance to that sector at a relatively less rate. All these things are possible. So policy decision taken by government, but it is implemented by the financial system. Right? Suppose government decided this is, let us say, in a particular, this is a difficult time. So let us help the industries. So government may give direction that we'll do this kind of things should be made available to the industry. Or let us say interest, or let us say loan collection should not be enforced during this period. That is government's policy. And it is possible to implement that thing only because there is a financial system is there. Financial regulators are there. Directions can be given. So loan collection can be deferred for certain period. So policy can be implemented through financial system. Understood this? Policy function.
Yes, sir.
And this through policy also, 2 more things are possible, which is called as 2 concepts. In fact, one is financial deepening and second thing is financial broadening. When you talk about deepening, that means increase of financial asset as a percentage of GDP. So what is financial asset? Financial asset means those kind of asset at these stage, just remember, which generate some income. That is your financial asset. So this percentage of income generating assets should grow. That is the concept of deepening. We're deepening the financial assets. That means more and more assets are available which can generate income. Okay. Suppose you are keeping your money in a fixed deposit. That is generating income. That is a financial asset. Suppose you are purchasing a house. If you are staying in that house, that's not a financial asset. But if you are giving that house on rent, that means that is generating income. That is a financial asset you are creating. Okay, so policymakers or government always tries to deepen these financial assets, financial products. That is, more and more products needs to be introduced. And broadening is building an increased number and varieties of participants and instruments. Varieties of financial instruments will be available in the market, so that one will have multiple choices. One can choose any kind of financial instrument. If he wants, we can keep money in pure saving deposit. If you want to keep it in a flexi deposit, if you want, you can keep it in a fixed deposit. If you want, you can keep it in a recurring deposit. If you can deposit money in the mutual funds, that also several types of mutual funds are there. Maybe equity fund, maybe debt fund, maybe balance fund. Okay. May he go to the stock market? He may go to the bond market. He may go to the government security market. He may go to the derivative market. So like this, so many products if available, you can say market is broad. And government always trying to broaden that market. It should be more and more products, so that more and more products will be available. So that function can be carried out by the financial system. Because financial system is there, so government, if wants, it can deepen the market, it can broaden the market. Then last category of function is that reformatory function. With the help of financial system, various reforms are possible. Financial market can be developed. New financial assets can be introduced in the market. Financial practices can be involved, can be improved. Okay, new instruments can be introduced. Okay, and financial assets can be restructured to meet the emerging need. So that is also kind of reformatory function. If some need arises, then assets can be restructured. You might have heard also recently this has happened. So many industries we could not pay because of this COVID situation, could not pay their installments. So one step has been taken by our government and the financial regulators, that if somebody applies, then that debt can be restructured. Restructured in the sense, here in this sense, it has got many senses, but here in this context, I'm saying you that whatever interest which has not been paid, it can be accumulated. It can be accumulated. It can be converted into another loan, or it can be added to the main loan. So that is called as a restructuring of the financial product. So this much of loan amount was, principal amount was outstanding. This much of interest was outstanding. So what happens if you do not pay interest for some period? Some period means normally it is 90 days. Then that asset become, for the bank, that become a non-performing asset. Okay, called as NP. Right, and it affects the person's creditworthiness. It affects the credibility of the person. So it has many other complications. So now this loan is restructured, means that interest will also become a part of the principal. That means no interest is outstanding. That means even if you have not solved the debt, it will be assumed as if you have solved the debt. So this is, you can say, depending as a response to the current situation, some kind of financial product or some kinds of financial services are restructured. So this is again a reform, you can say. So these are the broad functions of financial system. Now, can you recall what are the functions I told you? 6 functions I told you. Have you remember? Let me repeat one by one.
Liquidity function.
Yeah. Liquidity
Saving function,
payment function,
yes,
risk function, policy function,
risk function, policy
function, and
reformatory function.
Yeah, these are the 5 functions. Please remember, once again, I repeat, when you say liquidity function, that means financial system ensures there is enough liquidity in the system. Enough liquidity in the system means money can freely flow from the savers to the seekers. Right? People who need money, money should be made available to them. And people who are having excess money, there should be sufficient incentive so that they can invest that money to be made available to the seekers of money. That is what this function can be performed by financial system. This is a very important function, liquidity function. And regulators always keep a constant watch on the liquidity in the market. The moment they feel the market is dry or there is no enough liquidity, they take suitable steps. They take steps in such a way that, let us say, loan will become cheaper, so that people will take more loan and produce more goods and services, so that liquidity aspect can be taken care of. If there is excess liquidity, they'll try to tighten the liquidity. They'll ensure that loan will become more costly. Loan will become costly means cost of capital will be increasing. It's right. So automatically that will affect liquidity. So by increasing repo rate, by increasing CRR, by increasing our SLR, government ensures that the liquidity is maintained at the desired level. Okay, you must have heard that frequently or sometimes RBI increases repo rate, sometimes RBI increases the CRR, increases this SLR, statutory liquidity ratio or cash reserve ratio, in order to address the liquidity problem in the system. So all these are done through financial system, and this is one of the very important component of financial system. Coming to saving function, financial system promotes this saving. It encourages people to save, gives them incentive, because only when people will be saving, that money will be made available to the productive sector. If people don't save, then will not be able to produce any goods and services. The saving function is important. People should save. Anyone who is having income more than his expenses, he should save, and he should be given some incentive for that, depending upon the risk he is taking. If he is taking more risk, he should get more incentive. If he is taking less risk, he should get less incentive. Payment is one more important function. Financial system ensures that in the country there is proper payment system. So if people want to settle their liability by making payment, they should be able to do it. And various payment options are available depending upon the convenience of the people. Okay, maybe electronically, maybe otherwise also. Many payment options are available and people can use it conveniently. Managing risk is again one more function which is properly taken care of the financial system. So many products and so many services are available, so that people can manage the risk associated with their business, associated with their life. And manage doesn't mean that only will take risk management policy. If they want, they can reduce the risk. If they want, they can take more risk also. The example I had given, so you want to, suppose you had kept money in the bank's fixed deposit, you feel relatively less risky. But if you feel now you are capable of taking more risk, or your risk appetite increases, then you can withdraw that money and park that money in the stock market. Invest that money in the stock market. So by doing that, you are increasing your risk and you are expecting more return. So this is also risk management, because maybe earlier you thought you cannot afford more risk, but now you feel you will be comfortable with additional risk, so you can change it. That function can be performed by financial system, right? And policy function, various policies that government takes, government makes those policies that can be implemented through this process of financial system. Financial system helps in implementing these policies. Financial system also helps in bringing reforms in the country's economy. Okay, maybe at some exceptional situation, as a response to the situation, if government wants to make some reform, bring some reform, the financial system will be helping to, let us say, implement all these kinds of reforms. So this was broadly 6 functions we have learned about the financial system. Okay, and we already know what are the components of financial system. There are a few more concepts we should have some basic idea about this. First of all, what is financial asset? I briefly have already told you what is the financial asset. Asset which can generate some income, that can be referred to as financial asset. Financial intermediary, you know, banks, insurance companies, etc. They're the financial intermediary. They helps movement of fund from the movers, from the savers of fund to the seekers of fund. Financial market, you already know primary, secondary, we'll be learning in due course what is this thing. Yeah, rates of return are the incentives. That is also very important. It also plays an important role in the financial system. Only when people get some incentive or people are satisfied with the rate of return, they'll be making investment. And the market is expected should be broadened and it should be deepened. That means more and more financial instruments should be available, and the percentage of financial assets as a percentage of GDP should also grow. That is deepening, and more financial products should be available. That is broadly we have understood, and this chart will help you to get some idea then how suppliers of fund, mainly household sector, but the savers of fund, gives money to the seekers of fund, mainly business, farms, governments. They need some money. And why suppliers are giving this money? Because they are given some incentive and they have confidence in the stability of the financial system. And they feel that money is also liquid. At any time they want, they can withdraw that money also. Okay. Because of this confidence, so money is coming from this sector to the seekers of fund, and they're able to use it for productive purposes. Okay. And they are also controlled. So the capital market instruments are controlled, and the suppliers of the fund are fully aware that seekers are taking money and they will pay back. So again, seekers generate profit and they give it back to the household sector. This is how financial system works. I think you got a fair idea about the functions of financial system. Okay, yes or no? 6 functions you have to remember. With this, we'll be closing our session today. Next class, we'll catch up with other areas. Okay, maybe about the financial reforms we'll be talking about in the next class, in the first one. Any query you have?